What if Obi-Wan Kenobi went back to save Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar after leaving him to burn? The air on Mustafar is thick with the acrid stench of molten rock, the embers of a brutal duel still smoldering in the Force. Anakin Skywalker, once the Jedi's chosen one, now lies broken on the blackened slopes, his body ravaged by the very fire that mirrors the darkness within him. His yellow Sith eyes, filled with pain and rage, stare up at the man who was once his closest friend. Obi-Wan Kenobi stands motionless on higher ground, his lightsaber still ignited. The weight of his victory presses down on him like an unbearable burden. He had trained Anakin, fought beside him, trusted him, and now he had left him to die. But as he turns away, something pulls at him. A whisper in the Force, a hesitation. What if he didn't leave Anakin there? What if, in this moment, he made a different choice? Obi-Wan's steps falter. He looks back at Anakin, writhing in agony, his charred limbs barely clinging to his ruined body. The hatred in his former apprentice's gaze is unmistakable. And yet, beneath that hatred, there is something else. Something desperate. The Jedi Master feels the conflict within himself. Anakin has fallen beyond redemption, turned against everything they once stood for. But had he? Was there truly no hope left? Even now, with the darkness consuming him, he was still the boy Obi-Wan had raised, the brother he had loved. Kenobi makes his decision. He deactivates his lightsaber and rushes down the slope, the heat of the lava searing against his robes. As he reaches Anakin, the Sith Lord tries to move, but his body is too broken to fight. Obi-Wan kneels beside him, pressing a hand to his forehead. Through the Force, he can feel the pain, the anguish, the anger, but also the faintest flicker of something else. Something human. Anakin, listen to me. I will not let you die like this. Anakin, hoarse and weak. You left me. I had to stop you. But I will not abandon you. Not again. With great effort, Obi-Wan lifts what remains of Anakin's body. It is a grueling task, his once powerful apprentice now reduced to a fragile husk. The smell of burnt flesh fills the air and Anakin's breathing is ragged. But he is alive. Barely. Using the Force to stabilize his broken form, Obi-Wan carries Anakin back to Padme's ship. R2-D2 beeps anxiously as the Jedi Master sets Anakin down in the medical bay. He quickly punches in coordinates. He cannot take him to Coruscant. The Jedi Temple is in ruins, and Palpatine will be searching for his fallen apprentice. Instead, there is only one place to go. Polis Massa. The ship's hyperdrive hums as they leap into hyperspace. Anakin fades in and out of consciousness, his body barely holding together. Obi-Wan watches over him, his mind clouded with uncertainty. Had he made the right choice? Had he doomed them both? At Polis Massa, the medical droids rush to stabilize Anakin. His condition is dire. The cybernetic reconstruction that once awaited him on Coruscant now takes place here, in the sterile halls of a remote medical outpost, the same facility where, in another timeline, Padme Amidala would have taken her last breath. But, in this altered reality, fate has shifted. As the droids work, Obi-Wan reaches out through the Force. He can feel Anakin's pain, physical and emotional. The anger is still there, the darkness clawing at the edges of his mind. But so is something else, fear. And where there is fear, there is still a chance. Meanwhile, the Sith Lord Darth Sidious scours the galaxy. He had felt the moment Anakin was struck down, the searing pain of his apprentice's failure echoing through the Force. He arrives on Mustafar to find nothing but charred remains. Anakin Skywalker is gone. But Sidious is no fool. The Emperor's hunt begins. The Jedi are nearly extinct, but Kenobi is still out there. And if Kenobi survived, then so too might Vader. Days later, Anakin wakes. His body is changed, most of his limbs replaced, his face marked with scars. The cybernetics are crude compared to what Sidious would have given him. But unlike the Vader of another reality, he can still breathe without a mask. He is not trapped in a prison of pain. He is still himself. Obi-Wan is there when he opens his eyes. "You should have let me die." "No, Anakin, I couldn't. After everything I did, everything I became, it's not too late." But is that true? Could Anakin Skywalker truly return? Or was Darth Vader all that remained? The days turn to weeks, and Anakin wrestles with the truth. He betrayed the Jedi. He killed younglings. He choked the woman he loved. His crimes are unforgivable. But through it all, Obi-Wan does not abandon him. The galaxy is changing. Palpatine's empire tightens its grip. The rebellion is years away from rising. But in this moment, a different path begins. Obi-Wan and Anakin cannot return to the past. But perhaps, just perhaps, they can forge a new future. And so, the legend of Darth Vader never comes to be. Not in the way the galaxy once knew. Instead, in the shadows, a fallen Jedi and his former master stand at the edge of destiny. The weight of their choices heavier than ever. What happens next? That, as always, is a story for another time. What do you think would have happened if Obi-Wan had saved Anakin that day? Would he have truly redeemed himself? Or would the darkness inside him still take hold? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Star Wars What If scenarios.